What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play with some new Dolce & Gabbana makeup. I have it, I picked it up, I told y'all I was going to because it is back on the Saks Fifth Avenue website. I don't know what was going on, I have no idea. It launched on Saks Fifth Avenue, it hung around for like a couple of days, and then it disappeared. You could not find it anywhere. I searched, I hunted, I went to all kinds of places thinking that they would have it, and then all of a sudden it reappeared on the Dolce & Gabbana website, and there was a whole bunch of other products that released with it, and then maybe a week ago, it launched on Saks Fifth Avenue again. So my thought is that maybe somebody prematurely launched it at Saks and then they had to take it down and then relaunch it again. But either way, it's here, I have it. I did not pick up every single thing because there was a lot. I mean, they came out with a setting powder, a highlight, a primer, mascara, eyeliners, lip products, all kinds of stuff. So I picked up the blueberry, what is this? The blueberry Nutri-Tint skin tint. I knew I wanted this. This I had told y'all I was interested in. I wanted to try it and I have it. I'm excited. Like, look at how beautiful this is. Like, this down here is plastic and this is like also plastic, but it's just, it's so beautiful. How do I open this? Oh, this one's a twist off. Y'all, I sat and twisted that stupid Urban Decay foundation for it to pull off. So I went to pull this one off thinking, oh, I'm going to be smarter than the component. This one twists off, but this is what the applicator looks like. Really pretty. Yeah, I'm super excited to play with this. But then I also got, because this was not enough, I got on there and saw they had more. So like I said, I didn't pick up everything, but I did pick up a bronzer, of course. Hello, my obsession with bronzers. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. Y'all, this packaging is so stunning, so luxe, like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And for me, it begs the question, Chanel, what are you doing? Because Chanel is another luxury brand, and to me, I've always found their packaging to be very underwhelming for a luxury brand. But this is beautiful, this is hefty, this is not lightweight, this is very heavy, this is metal, very luxe. And I think this color actually looks really nice. This is light 01. I think that's gonna look good on my skin. And then of course I also picked up a blush as well because I have an obsession, I cannot be stopped. And for those of you wondering, I did pick up the Guerlain bronzer. Yeah, so, but this is what the blush looks like. Again, same packaging, but smaller, and it's white. I love that they don't look exactly the same. And I picked up this really pretty, like, peachy blush. I've been getting a lot of pink blushes lately, and I decided I wanted to get like a peachy blush. So this is the blush that I got. We're gonna try all these out. I'm gonna give you a rundown on these products in just a minute, but that's not all. I also have the new Sigma brushes that they launched, so I thought we'll go ahead and try these in this video as well. Throw them in there, check them out, see what they're like. I've told y'all I love Sigma brushes and I'm excited about these. But let me go ahead and give you a little 411 on this Dolce & Gabbana makeup. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the skin tint right here. So like I said, this is the Blueberry Nutri-Tint. This does retail for $52 and it does come in 30 different shades. The shade range is actually really good. It goes from really light to really dark. This is the lightest one that they had. And according to Saks Fifth Avenue, this is a skin tint designed for 24-hour hydration and a healthy skin glow with sheer to buildable coverage and blurring effect. Its fresh formula feels breathable throughout wear and is infused with blueberry from Cilento to enhance the skin's radiance and glycerol glucoside for hydration. It's made in Italy. It's a 1 ounce product. This says just a few drops of skin tint on the fingertips, then blend the product into the skin, blah, blah, blah. We're going to use a brush because I cannot stand to put on my makeup with with my fingers. It's gross. I don't like it. Okay. The bronzer. The bronzer is up next. This comes in 5 different shades. This is $54 as well. Everything was around $54. So you could imagine purchasing everything would be a little pricey, but for a luxury brand, it's really not bad. I put this more in like Dior pricing versus like Chanel, Prada, Guerlain, Tom Ford, all of that. But yeah, this is a lasting bronzer powder with a smooth skin mimicking effect that seamlessly blends into the face and eyes to create a full monochromatic look that accentuates and defines the complexion. So it says the spectacular formula will keep the skin feeling hydrated from day to night. I swear I can read, y'all. I really can. But yeah, all of these, the powder products are supposed to be able to be used on like your face and your eyes. That's the intention, which you can anyway. There's no rules in makeup. You can do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. And then lastly, we have the blush. This does retail for $50 and it comes in 6 different shades. It has the same claims as the bronzer, so I'm not going to go over that again. But yeah, I'm excited. I think that this packaging is gorgeous. I'm excited to try something from Dolce & Gabbana. I've really been enjoying luxury makeup just as much as I've been enjoying affordable makeup. Like, I can't help it. I am who I am. I cannot be stopped. But let's talk about these Sigma brushes really quick. I know that the main point of this video is the Dolce & Gabbana, but I do want to touch on these really quick. So this entire set is, it does retail for $121. It is on sale right now for $96.80, and each brush individually, with the exception of the concealer brush, retails for $25. This one retails for $21. So we have the F72, which is a soft angled concealer brush. We have the F48, which is just a soft coverage brush with this really nice kind of, not super dense, but soft and pretty dense bristles. We have the F43, which is the soft angled cheek brush. Y'all, these feel so soft. Like, I just want to pet them all day. These are beautiful. And then we have the F11, which is a soft sculpt brush. We'll use this for the bronzer, see how that does. And then lastly, we have the F08, which is a precision powder brush. And this is something that I would personally use for like a cheek product, but I'm gonna go in and use these brushes the way that they're intended by Sigma. Again, you can use these however you want. You can use all of these products however you want. There's no rules. Do whatever you want. Nobody's stopping you. But we're going to go ahead and create a look with these new products using these brushes. I'm also going to do a wear test with this makeup. So I'm using some of my tried and true products, my favorites, things that I know and love, and I know how they will behave on my skin. So let's go ahead and jump into this and create a look using all of these new Dolce & Gabbana products. Alright y'all, so I went ahead and zoomed y'all in quite a bit so you could see the full application of this, what it looks like on my skin. My hair is pulled out of my face. I have already prepped my skin, so I did go in with my In Beauty Extreme Cream Moisturizer. I have really been enjoying this. This is absolutely a beautiful product so far. I haven't had any issues with it. It goes on really nice. I've used it under other makeup and no issues. And then of course I went in with my Summer Fridays Shade Drops for my sunscreen, and I did prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. This is hanging on for dear life. I keep thinking every time I use it, this is going to be it, and it just keeps going, but I really love this. You know, as much as I said I'm going to go with the e.l.f., I might have to repurchase that, but let's jump into this. So I'm going to grab the Sigma F48 brush, and we're going to go in with the Dolce & Gabbana Skin Tint. So I'm going to give this a good shake really quick. And I guess I'm just going to go in. Oh, whoa. Okay, that is liquidy. That's liquidy. Just beware, y'all. Beware. It comes out like I barely squeezed this and it came out. Okay, lesson learned. She's not thick. All right. Yes, this is very light coverage, which I don't mind. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am 38 years old. I live in a very hot, humid climate. I'm down here in Houston, Texas. We're already up in like the high 80s. It gets well into the hundreds in the summer with like 10,000% humidity. It feels like an oven, but yeah, so very hot, humid climate. I have normal skin. It can go a little oily, it can go a little dry, but for the most part, it stays pretty even keeled. I don't have a lot of issues with anything like that. And I usually prefer a more light to medium coverage foundation with a good like skin type finish. So nothing too matte, nothing too like dewy, but just a good middle of the road. And I'm hoping this is what this is going to provide. We're looking good, actually. I was a little worried about the shade of this because it was really hard to tell online. There wasn't a whole lot of like undertones or shade descriptions or anything like that. So I just went for whatever looked the lightest. I figured it's a skin tint. It's going to be a little bit more forgiving than like a full coverage foundation. And I think this actually looks really nice. It's going on nice. It does have a good light coverage. It's definitely on like the fuller side of light coverage. So it's not as light as like the Chanel Water Fresh Tint or the CoverGirl, what's that one called? The CoverGirl Skin Perfector Essence, which is essentially the same as the Chanel or even my Chantecaille. It has a little bit more coverage than that because it is covering some of that redness. Not all of it. There's some of it peeking through, which I don't mind, but this is going down really nicely on the skin. I want to see if I can build this up just a tiny bit on the cheeks. It does say that it has a buildable coverage, and I will warn you, this comes out very quickly, very easily. A little bit goes a long way, so that's good. This could last a long while. But let's see what this does. My only thing is it doesn't stand up. I don't like that. I like to stand up my foundations, and this one doesn't, but that's okay. I'm just gonna stipple right here where I want some extra coverage. Yeah, that's building up. I think that's about maximum that we're gonna get, which is what the website said. It did say that this was like a light buildable coverage. So to me, that means you're gonna get like a heavy light coverage. You're not gonna get medium or anything like that. Okay, let me take a little sneaky peek at my makeup. I have an eyelash right here. But this looks good. This isn't emphasizing texture. It's not sitting on top of my skin. It looks really nice. It feels very lightweight. It does feel and look very skin-like. Okay, so far so good. I am happy with the way this is looking. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some concealer. I'm just gonna go in with my Gucci concealer, and we're gonna try this concealer brush. I will try out this foundation again with my normal like BK Beauty brush that I love to use. I'll also test it with a sponge. I guess I'll test it with my fingers. I hate doing that, but for the science, right? So I'm just gonna go in with this Sigma F27 soft angled concealer brush. This is really nice. It's soft and it's blending really nicely. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set this face with some powder, and then we'll jump into the bronzer and the blush. So I'm just gonna go in with my Pat McGrath under eye finishing powder in baby pink, and I picked up the F08 precision powder brush. So I'm just gonna pick this up, and we're gonna set my under eyes with this brush. This is a little big for me for under my eyes, and I usually like to go in with like a little velour poof triangle thing, but we're testing. Okay, under eyes are set. That did work really nicely. It got in there, it set everything. It looks very blurred, but let's set the rest of this face. So I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Veil loose finishing powder. I have the shade Translucent. This is my absolute favorite setting powder of all time, and it is getting super low. I should have picked up another one of these during the Sephora sale, but that's okay. There's going to be another one. I'm going to wipe off this powder brush, yep, on my Sigma switch, and then we're going to set this face. Again, I don't normally do this with a brush, but I want to try. Let me pat that out where my my craters are on my forehead. I always make sure that I smooth those out really well, just like I do like my under eyes, so I can have minimal creasing, I guess is what it is. I'm gonna get some, obviously, just because I do move my face. I have deep lines on my forehead, but I've noticed that if I go in and kind of smooth it out before I put on my powder, it really does help. But so far, that's looking really good. And I want to point out, I have like this kind of cooling sensation right here. I don't know what that is. It has to be the tinted moisturizer. It's nothing painful or anything. It's just like this very cooling effect. That is wild. All right, face is set. This is what our complexion is looking like. This looks very, very pretty. Like, I look flawless. Oh, this is pretty. I have high hopes for this. I really, really do. But let's go ahead and jump into this bronzer right here. This is such a pretty color. I'm excited about this. Okay, we're gonna go in with the Sigma F11 Soft Sculpt brush. So I'm just going to pick up some of this. I don't know how pigmented this is gonna be. Luxury makeup seems to be kind of hit or miss. Some of it's like super pigmented and some of it is not. That is a very light bronzer, but I'm not mad about it either. Let's put some on up here. Okay, it's buildable. It has pigmentation. I feel like I can see it better in person than on camera, so I'm gonna try and build it up quite a bit, but this is just a really pretty, like, soft pigmentation bronzer. It's not nearly as in your face as I'm used to. This is pretty. This is going on really nicely. I like this brush for this too. I'm not getting a lot of kick up in the pan. It doesn't feel like it's gritty or overly, like, you know, powdery or anything like that. It's blending out really nicely. It does seem to have like a soft blurring effect to it, and it's building up really nicely. All right, I like that a lot. I really like the tone of this. It's definitely more of a neutral tone and is lightly pigmented, but I think for my skin tone, I think it's perfect. I think I kind of have a tendency to go a little too dark with my bronzer, and this just gives me a more natural effect to the skin. Absolutely beautiful. Obviously, if you have a deeper skin tone, you're gonna want to get one of the deeper bronzers, but this is beautiful. I am impressed. Okay. Let's go into this blush. This is such a pretty color. I'm going to pick this up with the Sigma F43 Soft Angled Cheek Brush. Okay, let's see how pigmented you are. Are you going to disappoint me like Chanel, or are you going to be a little bit more like Armani? Okay, we've got some pigmentation right off the bat. I don't know, I'm a big fan of this brush for powdered blush. It's a little stiffer than what I prefer. That's pretty. This is very lightly pigmented, but it's buildable. It's building up really nicely. So the pigmentation is definitely there. It's not chalky, it's not patchy. It's blending out beautifully on my cheeks. All right, I love that. I really think that looks pretty. Yeah, it's not emphasizing any texture. It's just very smooth, very soft, very velvety. I didn't have any issues building it up. It's not super pigmented right out the gate. It picked up really nicely with a brush, but I like it when a blush is pigmented, but I also don't want one that is so pigmented that you barely touch your brush. It's like, ooh, that's way too much. I want one that is going to build pigmentation, and I feel like that's what this did. This looks very, very pretty. I'm impressed. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some highlighter and some brows, and yeah, we'll see what we're looking like. Alright y'all, so I went ahead and threw on some highlighter, setting spray, brows, things like that, and this is what the complexion is looking like. I am very happy with the way my skin looks. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, just healthy, refreshed, kind of no makeup, my skin but better. So I'm gonna go ahead and go throughout my day, do a wear test with this. It is 8:51 in the morning, so we should be able to get at least a good 10 hours wear out of this makeup, but I'll do a check-in throughout the day, see how it's wearing about the 5-6 hour mark, and then we'll come back at the end of the day, see what my makeup's looking like, give you some of my thoughts, and just discuss these new Dolce & Gabbana products. So I will see y'all in just a little bit. Alright y'all, so it's been a little over 5 hours. It is about 2:30 in the afternoon, and this is what we're looking like. So everything looks really nice. Nothing is breaking up. It's not emphasizing texture, fine lines, anything like that. Nothing is breaking up around my nose or my mouth. It's holding up really well so far. I don't feel dehydrated. I don't feel oily or anything like that. So far I am really impressed, but I'm gonna give this about another 5 hours, and then we will sit down, see what the makeup is looking like, and chat about this foundation. All right, y'all, we are back. It is the end of the day. It is 7:43 at night, so this makeup has been on almost 11 hours, and I'm impressed. I think everything looks really nice. My complexion looks good. I don't feel dry. I don't feel oily. I just feel nice and hydrated. This is very comfortable, very lightweight on the skin. It didn't sink into any of my lines. It didn't emphasize anything, and it didn't break apart. So I really can't complain. And as far as like the blush and the bronzer go, it's still nice and pigmented. It looks like it did whenever I applied it. So let's chat about these products really quick. So the Dolce & Gabbana, what is it, the Blueberry Nutra Tint. I really like this. I think it's beautiful, and honestly, for a luxury brand, I think this is more on the affordable side. This was like $52, $53, something like that, and that's really not bad. I mean, you get a full fluid ounce in here. The packaging is very nice. I like that this twists off. I like the applicator. You saw whenever I applied it, this comes out very, very fast, so just be aware of that. My only issue, and this is just me being stupid and picky, is that I can't stand it up. I have to lay it down, and I like to stand up my foundations, but since I have multiple, I can kind of wedge it in there and it will be just fine. But I think this is a beautiful skin tint. I really enjoyed it. I think it's going to work well for an array of different skin types. Now, if you're super, super oily, you're probably just going to have to prep your skin really good and use a really good mattifying primer. And if you're really, really dry, I think you'll like this as well. But this is beautiful. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm excited to keep playing with it. The bronzer, this is beautiful. I love it. It looks really good on the skin. It's not overly pigmented. I think this is actually a really good shade for me, and I'm excited to keep using it. It didn't go on super sheer, but it didn't go on like super pigmented either. Like, what was the one I tried most recently? The YSL one. That one was like, ooh, pigmented, little bit goes a long way. So you can definitely go in a little heavier handed with this one and build up the pigmentation and not worry about getting too much. It didn't grab, it didn't patch. The pigmentation lasted on my skin all day, and so far I'm really enjoying this as well. And the same thing goes for the blush. I like the shade of the blush. I had good pigmentation to it. It was there, and I love that. That makes me so, so happy, because I hate it when you get like a luxury product, any product really, and you think it's going to be beautiful and there's like no pigmentation. I need pigmentation. I want a good blush moment. I don't care if it's buildable, but I need a good blush moment. And this is beautiful. It's soft. I do feel like it's a little bit blurring, and the pigmentation didn't fluff away on my cheek. So I'm happy with that as well. And the brushes as well. Let's just chat about these. I really like these brushes. I think these are beautiful. I think these are really nice. The foundation one applied the skin tint really, really well. I didn't have any streaking. It didn't kind of like grab funny or do anything weird. It put it on really nicely. It's not too dense to where you feel like the bristles aren't moving the product, but it's not so thin where you feel like it's just leaving lines on your face. The concealer brush I really liked as well. I like the way this applied the concealer under my eyes. It just got in there really good. It packed it on there. It didn't absorb too much of the product. It just kind of blended it in really nicely. And the same thing goes for the soft sculpt brush, the blush brush. Both of these were absolutely beautiful for applying. The blush brush, I feel like for me personally, is maybe just a little too stiff for a powder. I like something a little more on the flimsier side, kind of like this one from It Cosmetics. You see how it's just a little bit flimsier, and then this one is just a little bit more on the stiff side. So just a little bit, but it did its job. I didn't have any issues with it. I still got my pigmentation and it did blend everything out evenly. And then lastly, we have the Precision Powder Brush. This did work. I set my face with it. It worked under the eyes, but for me, this is a little too small to set my entire face. I still would rather go in with a velour poof, but I do want to try this for like cream cheek products or even like liquid highlighters. I really like this kind of brush for a liquid highlighter. I have one from BK Beauty very similar to this, and I think that's going to be great for it. But I really like these brushes. I love Sigma brushes. I think their quality is fantastic. You do get I believe it's a 2-year warranty on all of their brushes, so you know, and they're always doing sales. They're actually pretty affordable when it comes to brushes. I mean, $25 for a really good brush is not bad at all. I mean, it's not elf prices, but it's not bad. So overall, I think we had a really good makeup day today. I really love the way that my makeup turned out today. I love the way that it wore, and I love the way that it's looking when I'm about to take it off. So this was a success. If you are curious about any of these products from Dolce & Gabbana, I say go for it. You won't be disappointed. But is it something that you need? No, luxury beauty is not a need, but it's always fun to have and fun to play with. But I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear all of your thoughts, all of your opinions. What do you think of the Dolce & Gabbana beauty launch? What do you think of like the mishap that happened at the beginning? I know for me it was frustrated because I was excited and then disappointed and then excited again, and it was just a lot. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're going to pick any of this up. Let me know if you have picked any of this up. And as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, most days if not every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.